Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Go Folk Yourself. I'm really excited to premiere this new format for you guys. This is Dan hosting this, and I've got my co-host Ethan with me.
Hey!
He's that funny guy. He's only going to talk when it's funny.
That's right.
That's too much talking.
Okay.
All right. Welcome to this talk show called Destroying Fandoms. I hope you're all excited. Because today we're going to be destroying the fandom of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Is everybody ready?
I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's introduce our guests, Brett and Victor.
Hi. I've watched the movies. I read the books as a kid. I don't
That's
know
all
why I'm
right.
here.
That's enough talking. Brett, are you excited to be here?
I'm actually very excited. I love Harry Potter.
Wonderful. Well, for those of you who've heard this show before, welcome back because you're a time traveler, and that's awesome. You'll have to reveal that secret to us because this is episode 1. But the way this show works is I've got a list of questions that I think effectively destroy the fandom of Harry Potter. Questions that you've thought about but never asked out loud. So, gentlemen, are you prepared to talk about some Harry Potter deep cuts?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's do
Perfect.
it.
All right, let's start with a nice, light, and easy one. Based on the timelines and history, did Gellert Grindelwald have a connection with Adolf Hitler?
Almost certainly. It's too close. And the pureblood love is too close also. So I would imagine that they at least knew about each other in passing.
Do you think that there was influence over Adolf Hitler?
Ooh, probably. I mean, they were in the same region of the world at the same time. They were probably young adults in the same area.
Yeah.
So I don't think that that's outside of the possibility that they had influence over
What
each
if
other.
Grindelwald's the reason we have Hitler? Because Hitler saw that and was like, nope.
This
Fuck
guy,
that shit.
This guy genocides.
Yeah.
This guy.
And he knew Jews were magical.
Uh-huh. And on top of that, Hitler did love occult shit.
He
so
did.
maybe
He did.
Grindelwald was the one that got him into it.
Oh.
Slippery slope, everybody.
Now, here's the thing, though. If we go down the road of thinking that Grindelwald may be imperious Hitler or something like that, I mean, there's an interesting thing to that, but I really don't want to take away the idea that Hitler did these things on his own because he deserves all the blame. However,
He should be in Azkaban.
he should be in Azkaban.
Yeah, he does.
Is that all you guys have on Grindelwald and Hitler? You don't want to
don't-
explore that false history a little bit more?
No,
I
you
don't know
should
what-
call Dan K.
Yeah, I think Dan K would have a lot to say on this. Maybe we can take him off the air and have him talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, we'll record his. You know what? That's a good question for Dan K. I'll save that because I've got another one for you guys.
Oh boy, what is it?
Oh.
So, while the Statute of Magical Secrecy was ratified to protect wizards, isn't it just glorified segregation?
Ooh, oh God, kinda, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, when you keep the society secret from everybody, you're trying to keep the two peoples
Oh,
apart.
yeah. I've never really thought about it that way.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah. It's an
Malcolm X got
apartheid.
It's like
in
if Malcolm-
Wizarding London.
It's also like if Malcolm X got his way and they all just went on a different continent and they had their own continent away from everyone. That's what his original plan was, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, you do have to kind of keep them
Like a different
separate.
society.
But here's the thing,
Yeah.
like if the wizards were to want to come out, I feel like that they would obviously overwhelmingly rule the world. Because they
not
have
necessarily
magic.
because
What
there
about-
was. Go ahead, please.
What about guns? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they can make themselves invisible. Kind of.
Sort of.
Sort of.
That stuff
Sort of.
bullets?
But you know what? And that leads to another question because
Ooh.
I realized this as well. And this is what undoes that for you. Ready? Because you think wizards, when they come out, would overwhelmingly be the dominant species because they
Yeah.
have magic. However, let's go ahead and put this out there. Where did my question go? Hang on. Yeah, give me some music there. Thank you. I must not have written it down. Oh, here we go. So in the wizarding world, they can send messages instantly with Patronuses, correct?
Yeah.
However, not everyone can produce a Patronus. In fact, it's quite rare that someone could produce a full Patronus and send a message with it. So realistically, the upper hand would be ours because I bet wizards are quite jealous that with the phone in our hand, we can communicate with one another instantly.
Oh.
That's a really good point. I mean, yeah, I guess we could destroy the wizards if we needed to, because if they can't talk to each other immediately and we can, that's an immediate upper hand. And I guess we have guns too, so can't really dodge a gun bullet with magic, I suppose.
Don't
Yeah.
electronics not work around magic?
Electronics don't work in certain magical places,
Okay.
but
Like
they work
Hogwarts.
around magic.
Yeah.
Like at Hogwarts, you cannot use electronics. So they would have their safe havens to be segregated into. However, ultimately, on the world of its own, I think we'd have the upper hand.
Whew, I think you might be right on that one. Oh God, I'm still kind of hung up on the segregation of the magical.
Yeah, that is
Muggle
throwing me
world.
off as well. I'm just like, oh, this.
There's a lot of things to unpack there.
Well, let's dive into a little bit of conspiracy, shall we, gentlemen?
There's
Some
conspiracy theories?
Because let's think about this. If 4 middle school students were able to create a map that showed you everything going on at Hogwarts, every person and like creature
yeah.
walking through the halls, how many governments around the world have that map of the entire world?
Ooh, I bet the Ministry of Magic has something like that tracks all of the different
Like
people.
on a really big wall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like-
And I'm sure Makusa in the USA does
Yeah.
as well.
I bet that in the Ministry there's at least one of Diagon Alley. Like obviously the wizarding like social hub of
You're
London.
saying there's not a Marauders Globe?
You know,
Brett?
I think that would be too difficult to manufacture because the
Yeah.
globe is enormous. Now we are talking in terms of magic, but think about how big that would actually have to be to accurately represent where every wizard in the world is at any given time.
Not if you're able to enlarge certain areas when you need to, but ultimately it's just a globe at every standard time.
Oh man, is it multiple globes? Would this be something in the Department of Mysteries?
Could be.
Whew. Maybe that's what's in there. Maybe it's a wide-ranging global surveillance room.
Yeah. That sounds about right to me.
Whoa!
Ethan, you're the best co-host I could have asked for.
Hey, thank you.
Best one I could have asked for. Hey,
Do this full time.
we're gonna take a left turn here because here's a question. So they
Okay.
talk about giants in the Harry Potter series, right? And the way that they dealt with giants was, well, they'll put them in mountain valleys.
We'll
and kinda
kill all
keep
of
them. They'll kill a lot of them.
I assume that's what mountain valleys were.
Yeah, we'll take them to the farm. They're being retired.
They keep them in between mountains, and oftentimes humans that pass by mistake them for mountains or
Fair,
hills or
fair.
foothills, things like that. So when we felt earthquakes, is that just giants fucking?
Oh God, yeah, that must be because they're enormous, and the crushing weight of their horrifying bodies on top of one another would, I think, make the entire Earth shake. Which leads me to my next point, which is why would Hagrid's dad look at Hagrid's mom and be like, "Gonna fuck that." Gonna fuck that so hard.
I'm gonna fuck that giant so hard. I've been looking forward to feeling this inadequate.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, that's how it was. It was flipped that way.
Yeah.
I thought it was the other way around.
No, Hagrid's dad is a dude because he'd put him on his shoulder and ride him around.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
mom is a giantess.
Yeah, that's
Now-
weird. How does that work that way?
Probably not very well for her.
Yeah.
Exceedingly well for him.
I don't know. It's just like,
God, just to be
it's like
enveloped.
just jumping into a bounce house. Like,
Well, honey.
That visual alone might have killed Harry Potter for
Well,
everybody.
honey, it's time for me to put on my miner's hat. Another day at the coal mine.
the egg mine.
I was talking about the S.
All right, Brett. This is a question directed right at you.
Okay.
Let's talk about England for a second.
Of course, I love England.
Now, in the Wizarding Society, they are steeped in Celtic and Norse iconography and tradition. Like their magic very clearly has that origin, and even their spells have that Latin sense. So, like the Romans before them, right? So that's where our wizarding culture comes from. Do you think there are any wizard Christians?
They do celebrate Christmas.
Do they, or is it
Kinda.
Yule and they just call it Christmas because that's what everyone calls it?
I don't know. I think they'd call it. I mean, they have the Yule Ball, of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
but they do wish each other happy Christmas
They do.
constantly.
You're right.
So
I mean, but if you look back, Romans celebrated that before Christians did, and Christians didn't. Even the founding fathers, like the Pilgrims, came here to not have Christmas. Like Christmas was like banned in the United States when it came out. It was just a celebrated thing. The actual party festivities, all that is all pagan and Roman cultures mixed together.
Oh, but
So-
why do they celebrate Christmas at Hogwarts?
Oh, why? Because that's why I'm saying it's like all that comes from the pagan aspect, like the tree and everything, the lights. That's from pagans.
Of course.
Because
Yeah.
Christmas isn't religious anymore.
Right. But here's the thing. There's a church in Godric's Hollow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harry Potter's parents are buried at a church.
Yeah, and it is a
Oh,
full.
true.
It is
It
a
is a full
wizarding
wizarding
city.
city, and it has its own church. Now, was the church already there, and the wizards just moved in and gentrified it magically?
I don't know because Godric Gryffindor was said to have lived there, and that would have easily been the 12 or 1300s.
Right? Maybe he had to make a church in order to, like not be burned alive. But I mean, they do address that some wizards were burned, but they were impervious to flames, and it was kind of like tickling them.
Yeah.
So that's not.
And some
too
were getting
scary.
off on that.
Yeah, exactly. Which I
weird.
think would be very enjoyable if I could make myself impervious to it and just be a little warmed.
Yeah,
but,
feel warm, warm licking all over your body. I mean,
all of the different crevices in my body.
also,
But
isn't it weird that we say flames lick? Like that's really
That
when you
is
think
weird.
about that. Sorry,
very
anyway, go
sexual
on.
to me. Yes, I've always been sexual. Since a young child, I've always been sexually attracted to fire. But to answer your question, yes, I do think that there are Christian wizards. I would probably hazard to say that a lot of them probably are Christians, given the way that the world seems to function. Like, look at the Weasleys. They celebrate Christmas religiously. They have strong family values.
Those are definitely Catholic.
You think? I think that they're Anglicans
I
because
would
they're
think-
in England.
Here's the thing. I think they care more about the family aspect of Christmas and not the
that-
religious.
I think they're Christmas and Easter Christians.
I think they're Irish
Never
Catholic.
anything Easter.
Well,
Yeah,
We
that's
literally
true.
have followed Ron Weasley for 7 fucking years, and I never
Oh, yeah.
mentioned Easter once.
Good point. Maybe that part was just boring, and it's just like regular Easter and not like anything
Or maybe
special.
it's not religious at all. Also, none of them are wearing crosses,
True.
right? That's
Yeah.
a thing Christians love
Yeah.
to do. None of them are carrying around Bibles.
Yeah. I think we can all agree that Hermione parents are atheists.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. They're
These are-
doctors.
Ooh, I think we can also agree Harry's parents are dead.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So,
and they are in hell because they're magic practitioners.
all right, this
As
last
are
question.
all of them.
Last question. This is just for Ethan.
Yeah?
I want our co-host to feel like he's
what?
part of this. Ethan,
Yeah.
this is going to be the hardest hitting question of all of them.
All right, Dan, let me hear it.
Because I'm here to destroy fandoms. I think we did pretty good so far, but this last one's a doozy.
Okay.
Which non-Harry Potter related celebrity
Yeah.
do you think is most likely to secretly be a wizard?
It's Rick Scott.
Yeah.
He's Voldemort.
Yeah, Rick
Right?
Scott, Florida senator.
Yep, and former governor.
Yeah.
And overall piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Voldemort.
That's pretty good. So he's Voldemort hiding in plain sight.
Yes.
Wow.
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 And our
right.
president is complicit.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yep.
Or-
Thank you so much for joining
Magic.
us on another Dan Destroys a Fandom. And by another, I mean the first one. If you like this, go ahead and tell us so we can keep it going. Otherwise, we will ditch this idea and let it die in a dumpster. Thank you and good night.